So hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Oluchi. Nice having you here. So we know how it has gone viral that for Nigerians, if you want to travel out of Nigeria, the best way to go about it currently, especially if you're not financially boxed up, is to consider going via cotonou. Okay, so for someone that hasn't ever left Nigeria, I kind of bought the idea, and yeah, um it wasn't all that smooth because like I didn't get all the information before venturing out, but it's part of life experience if you ask me. Okay, so I would want to school us on how much you should have. Like you want to travel out of Nigeria, you want to go via Cotonou Airport. The minimum amount of money you should have in your pocket before leaving your house. Because honestly speaking, I got stranded at some point and I had not gotten to my destination, which was Cotonou Airport. Okay, so if you ask me, I would say you should have nothing less than 30,000 naira in your pockets. Like, even though I've not sat down to do the calculation, I'll tell you, please don't have anything less than 30,000 naira. Especially if you are going to be carrying load. If you're not going to be carrying load, maybe you can go with something less than that. But if you have lots of load, yeah, I saw a video that said travel light. But most times when you're traveling out of Nigeria, you can't be traveling light because you would want to carry food stuff. Okay, so I'm going to give us a breakdown on how much I spent and how it went for me. Okay, it might not be the same for you, but just take note of how it went for me. You can apply it to your own situation. Okay. So I left my house. I stay at Ilasa, close to Sele. I don't know if you know the place. I stay in Lagos. So I left my house for my two. Then I had to book an Uber, you get, because of my load. Not on a normal day, if I'm going from Ilasa to my two, highest 500 naira takes me to my two. But because I was going my load and I knew it was going to be stressful for me, I went with an Uber. Okay, so if you're not going with an Uber, depending on where you're coming from, just find out how much it's going to cost you to get to my two. So I took an Uber to my two. It was around that 3,035. Okay. Then on getting to my two, I had to board a bus. You know, this are Danfo bus to Badagry because I didn't actually leave my house on time. I took my time to park, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't stay beyond 12 noon because my flight was going to be for the next day. Yeah. So even if I get to Cotonou Airport, say 8, 9 in the evening, even though I didn't want to get that late, it will still be fine for me. Okay. So I got to the airport. I got to my two. Okay. Then I boarded the vehicle that was going to Badagry. Now the normal price for the journey is 1.5 down for bus. But because I was carrying load, I had to pay for load. I had to pay 1,000 for my load. Okay, so if you're not going with any load, just know you're paying 1.5 to Badagry. So when I got to Badagry proper, I had to board another vehicle that was going to semi border. So the normal price for the journey, the normal fare is 700 naira. But because I was going my load, I had to pay, like I paid 2,000 naira. That was supposed to be, which for a fare that was supposed to be 700 naira. I paid 1 3 extra for my load. Okay, so when I got to semi border, you have to come down. No matter what, even you just have to come down. You have to walk like on your foot across the border. There's like a walkway. Some offices branch out of the walkway, so you have to cross that border on foot. So when I got to the border, you see porters, those that would want to help you carry your load. You see them. So anybody you finally agree with the price or with, you would allow the person carry your load. Okay, then you enter the gates that leads to the walkway before you can cross over to the other side. So there at the gates, they'll ask you for your passport. You show them your passport. Then after you've shown them, show the first officer your passport. You enter the walkway. The first officers I met were NDLEA, I think Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and they asked me for my yellow fever card. I showed them because I just did some 2 weeks back. But note they said you did not do meningitis. I was like, I wasn't informed about this, and I did my yellow fever test at Airport Road near the toll gate. I was like, nobody mentioned something like that to me. Say, hey, yes, that you have to pay 1,000 naira for not doing yellow fever test. Sorry, meningitis. I was like, okay. I believe all these are means to extort people. Trust me, because we were giving polio vaccines, we were giving yellow fever injection that day, but nobody mentioned anything about meningitis, that we're going to be asked about meningitis. So I gave them 1,000 naira. Then the next officers we were going to meet were customs. So they said for my bags, I was going to pay 500. Oh, that was fair. I paid 500. Then I went to the next office, which was immigration. The immigration officer said, collected my passport, did some registration, and asked me to pay 1,000, which I did. And then the next one, I don't know, I think it was, they called Portet or something. He just asked me to pay 500. Okay, and that was it. But trust me, the Nigerian side of the border was fair. Like after the Nigerian side, you now go to the Benin side. That was where they really, really extorted life out of me and made me bankrupt in short. Cause I think I just withdrew 25,000. I had 25,000 naira in my pocket when I left my house. So I felt 25,000 should take me to my destination. But trust me, 25,000 naira would not take you to the airport, except maybe your house is kind of close to Nigerian border. But if it's not, please don't make the mistake I made. Okay, so now going to the Benin side, the first officer I met was their customs. So the custom initially said 10,000 naira for my load because I'm carrying load from Nigeria to Benin. Like 10,000 naira. Like where's that going to come from? So the porter that was with me, because you know that's their business, they carry people to and fro with goods, pleaded. I don't know the language he spoke to the office. I think it's French. So the officer agreed and accepted 3,000 naira from me. Okay, that's officer one. Then the next officer I met after was the immigration. The immigration was like, oh, first stamp, because I've never had my passport stamp. First stamp, you'll be going to be paying, because you'll be paying 2,000 naira. Okay, like just like that, to stamp my passport, 2,000 naira. I was like, so I'm a student, please. Yeah, who are you talking to? Who's going to listen to you? So I had to pay 2,000 naira to Benin immigration. Then moved on to the next stage. The next stage was called portet. I don't know what that means. I've not even checked it up. So portet. Now the portet was like, well, the thing there is the porter was guiding me, honestly speaking, because he already knows the routine. So it was like I should just give him 1,000 naira so we'll pass, because yes, time was already running out. I was running out of time. So I just followed. I be as an I listened to the porter's advice. I held my 1,000 naira with me. The man said no. 1,000 naira is bigger than 1,000 naira. I should make it 2,000 naira. So that was how I gave the porter 2,000 naira. So on the Benin side, I spent a total of 7,000 naira. While on Nigerian side, I think that should be 3,000 naira or thereabout. So after that porter, I finally exited, came out of the gate that opened into Benin Republic. Okay, so now the other problem was I had to, like, with all this pay this, pay this, pay this, pay this. I had just I think 5,000 naira with me, and it was when I wanted to do the exchange. I got to find out that our Nigerian naira doesn't have value. Like it honestly doesn't have value. Like how would Benin money hold more water? Like how would they have more value than Nigeria? The almighty Nigeria, giant of Africa. It's well. So then I crossed over to the other side. I had just 5,000 naira with me and I was yet to pay the porter. So the guy that helped me carry my load here, I had to pay, there were two because I had two bags, 223 kg. The guy that helped, I had to pay both of them 1.5. It's a total of 1.5, not 1.5. Just both of them 1.5. Okay, so I was going to be left with 3.5. Now, I needed either a bike or a cab to get to Cotonou Airport. The bike man said the least is going to go to Cotonou Airport is 5,000 safer. Why the cabman started with 10,000 sefa, then later with serious pleading, he said the least is going to go to Cotonou Airport is 7,000 sefa. Okay, so all right, no problem. I was thinking maybe my money was going to be enough for me to, as in, would carry me to the airport, my dear. I thought wrongly. So, how much is how do I get 5,000 safer? How much? What's the conversion rate? They said 1,000 naira is 675 naira. 675 sefa. Like how? How would sefa be greater than naira? Like that was the beginning of my problem. Honestly speaking, that was the beginning of my problem. I never expected it. Like I never expected it. So um just imagine I had just, let's say, 3,500, and if I'm to convert it to sefa, 1,000 naira is 675 sefa. So 35 sefa should be like 35 naira should be 675 times 3, then maybe and half, you understand? So the money wasn't going to get me to Benin Report, Cotonou Airport. So like I had to start running around because when you've crossed over there, your MTN network, I roamed it quite alright, but I couldn't use it. I couldn't use it. They needed to turn on their hotspot for me to make the transfer. You understand? So finally, I found my way. I sorted that one out, and I got to Cotonou Airport. But I've never traveled before. This is the first time I will be traveling, or this is the first time I traveled. And trust me, from the experiences of people that traveled via the Nigerian airport, Muritala Mohammed airport, my experience at the Cotonou airport was blissful. Like it's quite smooth. You don't get to see like all those extortion. Nobody even has your time. Like no, nobody's coming to ask you. Nobody's coming to harass you. Do this, do this. No, no, no. You just maybe you are confused, even though it has its own disadvantage. Like in Nigeria, maybe they'll come to harass you and you can easily ask them for guidance or direction. But in Cotonou Airport, it's not like that. Nobody's coming to meet you. If you need help, you just have to look for an officer close by and ask your question. You understand? So that's basically how it was. Like everything is smooth. They are all polished. They're all how do I put it? Like they're polished. They are disciplined. Everything was just working out fine. Like for a first timer, my experience there was beautiful. It was smooth. So I would actually advise if money is like you're not financially buoyant like me and you want to travel, you can consider Cotton Airport. Yes, it's a nice place to travel from. Just have enough money because of that border. You will have to settle, and settle. You even get tired of settling. But the airport on its own, traveling from there, we had lots of Nigerians that came all the way down to travel from the airport. Yes, it was cheaper. Just that you might, if you're traveling light, trust me, you might really love the experience because you don't have to pay for your load. But if you're traveling with load and you have the mind, you can still go via the routes because yeah, the airport on its own, my experience there was blissful. It was smooth. Like I really don't have any downside to the airport. It's just me getting there. Like I didn't go prepared. So if you are going there, at least from this my video, you can like check out how much you're going to be having, a minimum of how much you should be having before you venture or before you make such travel. But I think in all, then aside that, I forgot the numerous checkpoints on the road. I don't know. I think I was looking like a first timer. All the that was on the Nigerian side. All the officers. Hey, you, where are you going to? Do you have a passport? Like I had several of them. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe they already recognize frequent travelers on that route. Maybe, but I was looking like a JJC obviously. So I had to present my passport at some places. But that was just it. I don't know why they're requesting that of me, but I didn't have to pay any money. But the driver of our vehicle had to settle. He settled and settled different officers. You understand why we're on our route to the border proper. You get, so I think from this my video you might have learned one or two. This is my first time. I felt I really need to share this particular information. Okay, so if you find it useful, like, and I still have subsequent videos to share too. Trust me, you will learn a lot from this my channel. Like yeah, this is my first time doing this, but trust me, I have lots to share with you. So do well to like my video, subscribe. I'll make sure I keep you posted on whatever information I want to share with you. I think the next thing I'm going to share is how to pack while traveling. Yeah, I saw lots of videos on that already, but something was missing out on those videos. So just look out for my next video and do also like, subscribe to my channel. It's going to be a smooth ride from here. Thank you.